fresh new episode of What I Know So Far. I'm Trish, sir, along with my magical
Karen Mills.
Hi, beauty.
Hi, honey.
We're laughing, y'all, because when we had a whole show planned, and then Karen and I looked at each other before we went on air. We're like, let's put that we're in a ditch. Let's go another way. So we're laughing because there are times when the world takes over.
There are those times, and we're in one right now.
We're laughing to keep from crying. So if you hear a lot of infectious laughter, it isn't fake. It's just to keep everything from sliding off the crack.
That's right. That's what we do. That's what we do. Yeah.
And so I said, okay, how about we do an episode today about what we feel like, which is feeling like we're in a holding pattern right now for whatever's going on in the world, which is a lot of stress with the election upcoming here in the United States.
Yep.
Stress of the unbelievable natural disasters that are happening, not only in Florida, but I'm from Appalachia. So from where our people are from in East Tennessee and Western North Carolina, and just this absolute level of you feel like you can't help, but you want to help.
I know.
Else what we're feeling.
Oh, it's so sad. And it's, and you just see all the images and the people that are, what they've been through. And and you can donate, you can help, you can do anything. I know. Don't even me.
Don't start me on an animal.
Did you see the horse that was on the roof that they pulled off the roof? I mean, it'd been standing there a long time, and they got
angel baby.
Oh,
y'all, I can't. I'm like, do I need to send for a boat? I've sent the money. I've donated to the things because you do feel helpless. Very helpless. And my family's in southeastern Kentucky, which is the base of the Smoky Mountains, heart of the Appalachians as well. And they're like, you need to come home and help. And I was like, what can I do? Like thinking they had some task I didn't know about or some charity I could come help. They're like, you just need to come home. I don't know if me getting on a plane, taking up people that need a seat on a plane, to get somewhere is helpful. Heading to that region, bless their angel hearts. I was like, I'll just keep donating.
Yeah, we'll donate from here. And I was telling you before we came on that our buddy Karen Morgan was performing at the Dinah Wortham Theater in Asheville the night that it hit, and she got the last flight out that night and barely got out of there. And she said if a guy hadn't shared his Uber with her, she wouldn't have made the flight. So
I just got a cold chill. Thank you to that sweet angel that got our sweet Karen Morgan out. And again, I don't know if people really know the level. And look, I'm from an extremely rural area. I knew it was rural when I took my husband there, who told me he was from a small town, and his eyes were as big as saucers going, oh, you aren't lying. I was like, no, bro, this is it. So people don't really understand what it means. And then there's even more remote than my little town, and hollers around where I'm from in our county. So when you're from something, and we're by the Tennessee Valley Authority, when you live by low-lying water, and who would think a hurricane would hit that deep into the Appalachians? That's the other thing people can't wrap their brain around. It's like, weren't they prepared? No, we don't prepare for hurricanes 300 miles, if not further, from the ocean, so.
And that's what they say have been so difficult is because, and we all know coal miner's daughter, and I was born in Butcher Holler. I mean, the hollers are what people can't get to the people there because they just have a small road up. It's been washed out. I mean, it's
and
really,
a lot of times they're not paved. And look, growing up in the funeral business in Appalachia, we have Suburbans that are retrofitted for body removal because you can't drive a hearse or a van back into haulers in normal times. So you have to have an all-terrain vehicle because that's how remote. So you have to understand a lot of folks were in places that remote, and then you don't have anything, bridges washed out. It's just wild. It's absolutely wild.
Yeah.
So I was telling Kay this morning that I was feeling that very weird holding pattern, and what I'm trying to do to not sound like doom and gloom, but to get myself out of holding pattern mode. And I don't think I have the answers.
No, there are no answers here. Let's just be clear.
This is a lot of pontificating. That's how you girls roll. Not answers, just like, hey, here's what I'm throwing up in the air and seeing if it sticks.
And for anyone else feeling it, and to know that they're not the only ones feeling it.
Yes, you're not alone, y'all. even last week, I was lucky enough to work down with my friends with Camping World down in Southern California. We were down in Pechanga, which is down in Temecula, which is beautiful. But I kept going, y'all, does something feel off? And I can't believe how much fun. We have the best just community. People are sliding in my DMs going, girl, Mercury is not in retrograde, but there was a solar eclipse. I was like, oh, okay, I'm sure. I'll take all advice of what's going on right now. So I just feel like it's that time where we're all trying to help lift each other up. So that's what we're here to do.
Yes. And I think I just saw something this morning about a solar storm. Did you see that?
No, but Lord, it tracks. You're right. What else is afoot? I mean, every time I go to something, everybody's like, oh, well, that's because you're, the third house and yours is with Pluto. I'm like, what's happening? It's with Pluto.
Yeah, all my planets are in the toilet. That's all I can say.
My planets are like, what is going on? And y'all need to get your acts together. It's a lot. And I'm married to an Aries, which my husband is. Then I've got Karen, who's an Aries, who I adore. My mom is an Aries. Katie barred the door if I'm not. And it's like all the cardinal signs, which are Aries, Cancer, Capricorn, me, and Libra. We've not turned into an astrological podcast. I'm just letting you know that this is the stuff people send me. That I'm like, okay, well, you know what? This is how I feel. No matter what you believe, there's something bigger than us. And they've obviously got planets rotating and the tides receding and all this mess.
Right.
There's something to it to a degree, because I'm over here going, help. What do we do?
Well, we look for answers anywhere when we don't know what's going on.
Like my sweet Aunt Cheryl, who's a crazy Catholic. I can say that. She'll never listen to this podcast. My great Aunt Cheryl thinks she sees Mother Mary burnt in her toast. And I was like, did somebody go and get her a Mother Mary toaster and is playing a trick on her? Like how they can burn Hello Kitty's face on toast. I think somebody in our family has gone and got her a Mother Mary toaster, and every morning she sees Mother Mary in her toast.
Well, who was it? Didn't someone see it in spaghetti or something years ago?
It happens weekly. Yeah. I swear there should be an app for how many I'm Italian Catholic. We're Italians, so that's why I say this. Catholic deities show up in like food dishes. Italians are crazy to tell you, but Catholics are like, did you see her? She was in this piece of cheese. Like, what? Is that a sign? Look, Karen, that's a sign. Karen loves her some Pink. I mean, who doesn't? Who doesn't? Did you see Pink the other day talking about funny and having a moment of making me laugh about her being upset that her family is not doing their themed Christmas or themed Halloween costumes as she has planned for years, and she's aggravated that sweet little Willow and her best friend are going to be something together, and she's like, fine, break up the family, like as if they're dysfunctional now, because Pink has always planned their Halloween costumes.
Oh, funny.
And that Carrie, her husband, talked sweet little Jameson into being the clown from Pennywise. It's like, what in God's name? And Pink was like, what's happened to my family? It was so precious, because I thought, we need that kind of levity right now.
Yeah,
like,
we do.
That I need something that doesn't make me feel like, are we all going in a ditch sideways?
Now, do you dress up your dogs for Halloween?
I do not. Okay. I'll tell you why. Y'all, my sweet dogs, Dude and Wesley, a golden doodle, full size, 85 pounds, my lab, which we need help. Your girl needs some help, because he's gotten everybody knows if you've had a lab, if it ain't nailed down, they eat it. And my sweet lab, Wesley, is at 98 pounds. They are the same age. They're both 5 years old. They both get the exact same amount of food, exact same treats, exact same. Walk 2 miles every day. And we're talking inclines, uphill. I don't mean like we're strolling. We move. Buddy, he's chonky. And I'm like, I get it, Wesley, because he'll look at me and be like, whew, I'm thick as mud. I get it. So if anybody has any tips to help me get some weight off this sweet baby, help your girl, because I've never had a dog that's gotten this thick quick.
Well,
but we don't dress them up because the costumes are big, because they're expensive, because they're big. Like, I'd have to put them in toddler outfit.
Right. And I'm not sure they love being dressed up. So that's a whole other story. But except for my Jax, the terrier.
He does. Jax is wild one, everybody.
Yeah. And he just loves clothes. I'm not kidding.
Stop.
He wants his shirts on. He wants we have like a onesie pajama thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm liking that. I don't want to take it off. It's the craziest thing where Zoe just freezes and won't move, and she's like, "Oh, I don't want it."
Yeah, I wasn't meant for this life. But Jax is like, finally, someone gets me.
But when I lived on Alta Vista Drive, we used to have the Alta Vista Halloween contest for the animals, And so Chloe. No, I had one Chloe, one Zoe. Okay, Chloe, who's now at the Rainbow Bridge. And she was just like, loved that dog so much. And she was so
best.
smart. And, but she won one year because we had, we bandaged her paw, put a little cowboy hat on her and a little denim vest, and then hung a sign around her neck that said, "I'm looking for the man that shot my paw."
And she was on board. She limped it and made it look good.
She did it for us because we got such a kick out of the whole Western looking for the man that shot my paw thing that she rolled her eyes, but she went along with it.
I love her heart.
Yes. And she liked being a winner, so it's okay.
That's okay. Are you dressing Jax up this year?
Probably not, because he's just gonna,
cuss everybody.
Yeah, he's just gonna cuss everybody.
We're trying to decide what to do because I will be back from that week from tour with Jace is on tour that week. And so we get home for Halloween. And I said to him, I was like, what are we going to do? Because I don't want to be the person that doesn't hand out candy. But at the same time, if y'all have dogs, if you have dog tricks, tell your girls, because I need to know. I have big dogs, so they want to whoop everybody's ass. That comes to and they love kids. They don't have a mean bone on their body, but you can't be ringing a doorbell all night because I feel like I'm going to be in a ditch. So do I leave a sweet bowl of candy and make sure my neighborhood kids aren't buttholes and take them all? Do I just turn out the lights and do nothing? Like, do we go somewhere? Do we take the dogs somewhere and go out till like 9 o'clock? I'm like, what do we do?
I know it's hard. We've left candy in the past, but
I know. We have sweet little kids in our neighborhood. They're darling. I'll tell you, my ex-husband and I, this was a fun one years ago. Not that he's fun, but I had to convince him to do this, and it was fun. We had big dogs that weren't. My dog Truman was a rescue, and he was a Belgian Malinois, like our military working dogs. And he'd want to eat you whole. So you could not open that door for nobody. I'd been on, a watch list. So I said to my ex-husband, I go, hey, let's take our patio furniture out front in the driveway. And we put the sectional out the drain, coffee table. And I put on fun music and noise machines for the dogs inside so they really couldn't hear too much. But we didn't have windows that went to the front of the house that the dogs could get to. We could shut those off. And we put the living room out in the front driveway and made a whole setup and just made the front driveway spooky. And kids came up and we just sat on that sectional all night with the neighbors and the little fire pit table. And honey, we just had us a time and handed out candy. Isn't that fun?
That is fun.
Because I didn't want the dogs stressed. We went back in, they were fine. They had taken to the bed. They didn't know any of it happened. But I was like, maybe we should do that this year. And Jace was like, I'm going to be exhausted. I was like, fair enough. So.
And we've walked out to the street and handed it out so they didn't come up to the house, too.
That's a good idea.
So we met them out there. So to keep, everything's about the dog. So,
Yeah, mine too. That's the only thing bringing me absolute, calmness right now is when I'm like, oh, the world's in a ditch. Walk the dogs, like get in nature.
That's right.
Thank God. Because if I didn't have them, I'd be in the house spiraling. Like, what can I do? Please. Yesterday I was in complete, stress about all tropical events, hurricane, everything. I was like, what are we going to do? We need to move somewhere that doesn't have any kind of weather disasters, and maybe not planet Earth, Trish.
Yeah, that's right. That's the truth. So anyway,
we get there. We realize that it's okay. What is there anything else, Karen, that's got you feeling like right now, holding pattern wise? Because I'm that way right now for not only the state of the world with the election, but I'm like, do I do? Does anything else make you feel stuck? I guess is what I'm getting at.
Well, and people who know us know that we're comedians, but there's also other aspects of our personality, and sometimes it's just hard to know where to focus energy because social media is such a big part of what we do. I always say that now it's turned into comedy. Social media is our job and comedy is our side hustle.
Well, that ain't the truth.
Oh, So, and then, yeah, and you just can't do stand-up clip after stand-up clip. And I feel like I need to be doing something else to, I don't know. I just feel like I'm missing something in my life. I just feel like there's something still I'm not stepping into. It's like trying to turn, the knob and it's just not quite clicking.
Girl,
something's missing.
How much are we? This is why you're my people. I have just said, because you just said turn the knob, keep it from clicking. If you can't see, if you're not watching on YouTube, y'all, we're sitting here doing these hand moves. And I kept saying to my husband just yesterday, I feel like I've got a Rubik's Cube and so much is lined up. And then my dipstick self turns it and then just jacks the whole damn thing up. And I'm like, son of a monkey's ass. So I keep saying it's like a Rubik's Cube and I'm so close, yet then I turn one and I've jacked it all up again. Mm-hmm. So is anybody else going through that? Like, if you're not doing stand-up, is there anything in your life right now?
Right. It doesn't have to be as it relates to comedy and what we do. But, I think in any career and any whatever your life consists of, there's times where you feel like you're just somehow missing where you're supposed to be or where you're supposed to be focusing or, I'm supposed to be writing a book. And you would think that someone said to me, go climb Mount Everest. Just take off right now and go climb it. And that's how paralyzed I feel by it.
Isn't that interesting? Because it would be probably really freeing, but because we have both of us in totally different situations, but both of us, you have things that have to be tended to in daily life, right? Everybody, we all know it, from your kids to your parents to grandparents, if you're lucky enough to still have your grandparents, just whatever it is you have. And they're certainly not distractions. It's just life.
It's just life.
And then the thing you really know you should be giving your time and energy to doesn't even get put on the back burner, honey. It gets put in some Tupperware. And then that Tupperware has gotten pushed back in the back of the fridge. And you're like, Ma, it's got a layer of mold. So
it lost its lid.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's lost its. Honey, if I'm any time I've lost my lid.
But it's true because, life is life. You're always, I help care for my mom and I have, just life things going on all the time. But you still have to somehow get to the thing that feeds you.
Yes.
And energizes you and keeps you engaging, or else it just becomes so stale. And I'm just kind of in one of those stale modes right now.
I am okay. What? It's got to be planetary, y'all. It's just, according to my sweet followers who I love and adore, y'all might be right. I think this might be a planetary situation. Because I'm with you. We're in totally different time zones. We have different things that are pulling at us, but I feel the same way. I feel very stagnant. I don't know if that's the word. It's holding pattern meets like a weird stale. If y'all are feeling this, you have to message us because we got to know, and we as a family are going to figure out what to do. But I'm not like I think I have any of the answers. I'm the queen of a personal development book, if you don't know that about me.
Yeah, me too.
Kay knows, Karen and I always say I am a personal development junkie in the best kind of way. I do implement. Here are the things I'm doing right now. Not any of these are solutions, but I'm telling you what I'm doing to not completely let the cheese slide off the cracker. I am listening to the Diary of a CEO podcast. If you don't listen to that, Stephen Bartlett, I talk about him often. I think he's darling. He's, I think, like 32 years old. Not that I'm getting my life lessons from a 32-year-old, but because who's British and a man. I know that everybody's like, wow, he's right on brand for you, Trish. But what I love about him, and I think we can all learn from everybody. So this is a great lesson in this. He's painfully curious. And I love anybody that has that level of curiosity. And the guests he has on his podcast is twice a week. He does a beautiful job, but I learn a lot from the people that he has on. And I know that I take nuggets and implement along the way of like, oh, I didn't know why I needed this particular one today. So he's one that's been helping me kind of go, okay, let's make a plan. What is that plan? I don't know, but I need to make a plan. And then there was a great book. And I'm going to jack it up, but we'll put it in the show notes because I'll go find out. It's basically the art of cyclical living, if you don't know what that is. As a woman, anyway, our bodies are tuned up to the phases of the moon. things that don't shock me. If God can make humans, he can make the planets. We're getting back to this, that our bodies are on phases with the moon. So that's why, our periods would come every 28 days. If you're still having one, great. Some of us folks in perimenopause, it's all around the world. If you're past that, it's still cyclical. How we live is cyclical. And even the seasons, right? We're meant just like crops, and this gets deep, but it's the dang truth, because people be like, I don't know. Well, don't care what you believe. This is how the world works, right? Things have to go dormant to then go in the cold to then revive and come back through and grow. And it sounds very heady, but it's just nature, right?
Yes.
We're meant to power down in the wintertime. We're meant to have things kind of fall away. Hello, fall. Hello. Fall away in the fall, for us to take time to like rest and kind of make the new plan. What is the plan to harvest? You roll into spring, let that thing grow, and then summer, honey, what a time to be alive, right? That's really what the art of cyclical living is about. But we are in such a go culture that we're constantly like, why am I not producing? Why am I not? Why? And then you stop down and go, because you're not supposed to right now, dipstick. And so I'm trying to give myself grace and listen to what the seasons look like, and not be so beholden on, you've got to be creating 24/7. Not easy, but I'm just telling you what I'm trying to implement.
Right. And because a lot of times when you do power down is when you get creative again, because you can't race your brain all the time and give room for new ideas or inspiration. So I've been trying to do better with that myself, but I have to tell you, I so dread this time changing and getting into darkness.
Me too. Okay. Hey, I bought myself a red light therapy mask. Y'all, I look crazy. I'll have to put it on and show y'all on social. I'll drop it in our stories and stuff. I bought a red light therapy mask that I can actually wear it like hooks on my ears. I look crazy, but it is helping. Not only my skin, but it's apparently supposed to help as soon as this time change happens, because Karen and I are very similar. I don't know if y'all have, I definitely have seasonal affect disorder, 110%. That's part of the reason we moved back to California from the South, for me personally, because I couldn't deal with the weather of not only the darkness. I'm not acting like suddenly Southern California is Alaska and light in the winter. But for me, the gray and the cold on top of the dark, I was like, I cannot. And just to let y'all know, I've lived in California for over 20 years, moved back to the South for 2.5 years, and then was like, wow, can't do this. And as soon as I moved back to California, my body was like, oh, I'm a human houseplant, is what I'm telling you. I know that I'm going to try to do, there's this other thing I've read about. Oh, y'all, I'll put all this. It's called, and I'm going to jack it up. It's called Hygge, Hygge, or Hygge. It's the art of cozy living. I believe it's Danish or Finnish. I'll look up which language. Again, forgive me if this is what your language is, and I've just jacked up your word and been like, oh, I made, it's like saying Thailand and, the United States are the same place. Forgive me, but Hygge, Hygge. And it's the art of cozy living. So what that belief is that you romanticize and make the cold times magical. Like you kind of romanticize what winter is, not even just the holidays, meaning like make your house super cozy and be excited about what that warm downtime kind of life is, because we're not in the sunshine and the magic and the green grass growing and flowers blooming, right? You have to kind of almost romanticize this cozy living. It's a big word for cozy living. I'm going to attempt that, is the point. Okay. I'm going to try to attempt to be magical about it being cold.
Building a fire and enjoying, those
and
kind of things.
The dogs and having yummy blankets and lighting candles and that kind, like making like a time to sit down and like read a good book for, even if it's 10 minutes. My patience, I'm a gnat. I have a patience for that. But kind of romanticizing it, when it starts to get dark early, romanticizing it. Like, oh, I have to power down now. Like almost make myself look at it in a good way instead of me, because I go in a ditch.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Love you more. Look, I'm trying. I figure all those places that love it cold and drink vodka and sit in saunas, Finland is the happiest country in the world. It's cold as snot there.
Oh, yeah. I know. I should probably change my attitude, but I'm a bear. I'm a bear. I hibernate. I hate the cold. I hate the dark, and I get in a bad mood.
But maybe that's what we have to do is make our cave darling. Hey, I'm going to try something because I can't go in a ditch every year again and again.
I know. We have to do something it's all mindset. It's all mindset.
All mindset. All mindset. I'm doing that. And I'm also going to buy a reformer. Do you have one? The mini trampoline rebounder.
Rebounder. I have one. Mm-hmm.
Do you like it?
I do. I like how it looks.
No.
Haven't been on it. But I really like how it looks. I have been on it actually, and I do like it.
Okay. Do you feel like you've got some energy movement or like just kind of moving there and it's not rough on your joints?
No, I have to be careful because I still have the neck issue from my accident. So I can't overdo anything with the bouncing, but it in a short period of time, you can get a lot out of it. And I'm always on board with that.
Yeah. Oh, and it's supposed to be amazing for your lymphatic system.
Yes, your lymphatic system it's really worth it.
20 bounces and you should be, right as rain to start your day. And I just said to my husband, I said to Jace, I was like, I'm getting us a rebounder. He's like, good God, what else is she? But so you've sold me. That's happening next.
I definitely recommend that.
So we're doing it.
Because if I have the option to if I have to do something, say I'm not articulating what I'm trying to say very well, but what I'm trying to say is if I can get the same amount out of sprinting as I can jogging a mile or whatever, or sprinting, whatever, I'm going to take the quickest way out, no matter what it is.
Shorter, quicker, faster. That's the Karen Mills motto.
That's what I like about the rebounder. You get a lot of bang for your buck in a short period of time.
Well, that's all I needed to hear right there.
And even though yoga is so good for you, and I do it, I don't enjoy it. I do it, but all the breathing, it just exhausts me. It does. And it's so good for you. And you've got to do it. Yeah. And you need to do it. And I force myself to do it. But I'm just like, let's get it over with. How much longer do I have to be here?
Karen's never namaste, love and light. She's like, let's go.
Yeah, let's sprint this out and get on to something else.
That's the athlete in you. That's a busy mind too, which I love because yoga, ironically, is one of the things for me, but it has to be power yoga. I can't be doing.
Me too.
Yeah, I can't do I've tried yin, which is the 26 poses, whatever. I'll start going. I've got things. I can't. I really can't. So I'm with you. I have to do power.
Now I do enjoy power yoga, but
me too.
But the other is just kill me now.
Are we breathing again?
Yes, I know. I'm too lazy to breathe.
No, you're just too busy.
No, I just like to, move through it and get on to the next thing. I like to get the most out of something in a short period of time.
Well, that is what I'm going to attempt to do during the winter months is make it magical in the house, get the rebounder when I don't feel like heading outside or maybe it's inclement weather and I can't get outside, and just really try to embrace that I'm going to spring into spring and not make winter the hellscape that I normally stress about it being because of it being cold,
And of course, we will both still, even if we do the rebounder, we will both still bundle up and walk these dogs no matter what. So we'll.
And my sweet Wesley, the chonky one, my lab, he thrives when it's cold out. The doodle and I both are like, let's take to the bed. It's cold. Not that lab, honey. I think it's because he's, a little fluffier. He's like, let's go. Like, he loves it cold outside and he'll want to do 4 miles. He will.
And even this Chi-Chi, she wants to go in the cold.
Really?
You wouldn't think because she gets cold
and she's so tender. You put a sweater on her.
Oh, no, she won't wear clothes.
She really won't, not even if it's chilly.
No, she doesn't want to. But she just gets all frisky. I'm enjoying this now.
That's Wesley.
Because the heat, and this is what I like to remind people of that have dogs that might not think of it. But when you have a little bitty dog like a Chihuahua and it's 100 degrees outside, they are so close to that pavement
that's so true.
So much heat. They're getting so much more heat, a small dog coming off the road and the pavement than a big dog. And so, that's hard on them.
I did not, Karen. That is so true. I didn't think about that. They are. So you do have to be mindful. I try to get them out before I know if things heat up.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Because I'm always worried about, their paws and paw balm.
Oh,
and
me too.
I'm out of my mind.
But in the event that you're out there with them in the heat, I'm just saying, be mindful of that. That's why I carry her on most of the walk.
Well, next thing you know, Karen's going to be like, I've got a baby Bjorn to carry her. Yep. I would love if you got her in a little thing, just carry her right up front, please.
And I've got a neighbor who has 4 dachshunds, and 2 of them are in strollers, and 2 of them walk.
Can I tell you one of my favorite parts of working with Camping World is that I get to go to all these big RV shows. Like, it's the Super Bowl of RV shows, honey. It's like Oscars. And I can't tell you how many RV people, first of all, RV people equal dog people.
Yeah.
But RV people love a dog in a stroller. And when I tell you, when you're at an RV show, you'll see hundreds of strollers, hundreds. And 98% of the time, there's a dog in there, not a baby. And it brings me great joy. And I'm telling you, RV people, half the reason they've got the RV was because they weren't going to let their sweet insert the type of dog here in its senior years, sit at home and they're going to travel. So they went and got them a house that can travel. And they've got them 1, 2, 3, 18-year-old blind, deaf. They don't care. They love their dogs. You'll see. I've seen some that are like stack strollers, like for kids, but for dogs. And they're like, no, we've had these 3. They're 18, 17. I'm like, you know what? I'm never going to cuss an RV person ever. No. First of all, I love them. But they're always caring for them animals. And I'm like, I love y'all. Love y'all.
My people. They take care of their dogs.
So I'm always at an RV show going, can I see your dog? Like, I will be up on a stroller being like, precious. My favorite are the big dogs that are like the big golden retrievers that don't fit in a traditional stroller, and these RV people that have jiggly rigged and customized pneumatic wheel wagons to put the big 100-pound golden retrievers in. Those golden retrievers have canopies, so they're not getting fans clipped onto the side, so they've got wind. I'm like, I love your mama and daddy. And that golden retriever is like 20 years old with wind blowing on him. Like, this is my
Beyonce.
Life. Yes. And I'm like, I support that. So I love anybody that gives that kind of love to any animal, but most especially the RV crowd that loves their dogs the way they love their dogs.
Senior dog. Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, no.
I love it. Well, what are we going to leave them with? What we know so far about being in a holding pattern for me is that I'm going to continue to be grateful, because I feel like if you're in gratitude for what you got, what's coming will show up when it's supposed to, as long as you keep being grateful instead of getting in a ditch about what's going wrong. So I keep telling myself, let's think about all the things going right, because I don't know where I'm going, but I know I'm grateful for everything I've got right now. So that's what I know so far.
What I know so far is that we all, life is ebbs and flows, and we're all going to be in those holding patterns or have those down times. And I think it's so important to stay mindful so that even when you're negative or feel down or feel stuck, that you become aware of the fact that you're reinforcing the I'm stuck and I'm down and nothing's getting done, and be mindful that you're doing that so you can change it. And gratitude is always a good way to change it. And, sometimes you just have to pull up your bootstraps and put one foot in front of the other and just change that voice in your head,
Preach on, Kay. That's the damn truth right there. It's a whole lot of just, getting on the right side. It's all mental.
Everything.
Isn't it?
It really is.
I know there's physical limitations sometimes, but when it gets down to it, it really is a mental thing to get out of our own way.
Yes.
Because Lord knows I'm professional at building roadblocks of getting in my own way. I mean, disaster relief has nothing on my roadblock action. Yeah. We love y'all. We're so tickled. If you're listening, Karen, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me, Karen Mills Comedy, on Instagram and TikTok, and Facebook is Karen Mills Comedian. And, of course, my website is KarenMills.com, and there's links to everything there. So.
And there's links to everything below. So just when you're listening, y'all, if you're listening, YouTube, whatever, if you're on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts, all the information is below. I'm at Trish Sir, TrishSUHR, at all things, on all the things, all the ways. And please rate, subscribe, review. It just takes quick seconds, and it means so much to us. Hit the follow, share button if an episode spoke to you. It would be great. And we sure love the crap out of y'all. We really do.
We are talking with people about some 2025 dates to do the podcast live, and also do our comedy, of course.
Yeah, so you'll get the 2-for-1. You'll get to see us, do the jokes, and then we'll have live podcast episodes and have guests and all the things, because we just want to be with y'all, really and truthfully. I mean, life's short, honey. Get to do it with each other, right?
Yeah, go have some fun.
Have some fun. We love y'all. We hope you have the best week. Bye.